In early 2019, I had the privilege of interviewing Ronald Bernard.
I've been more than half of my life I was actually a top criminal. I call it also a bankster. The bankers were my clients. I was working above them and they used me to take the heat of dirty jobs.
I had previously seen his incredible interview with Irma Schiffers, in which he shared an emotional account of his career as a bankster, working among and for the rulers of this world.
Dat mensen nog steeds maar niet snappen hoe het werkelijk in elkaar zit en nog steeds maar op het niveau zitten van als ik mijn pot bier maar heb en weet ik wat allemaal. Het helemaal op zichzelf gerichte, ook weer vanuit overleven. Ik bedoel, het is het programma wat draait. Maar je ziet nog steeds hoe makkelijk je mensen eigenlijk een kant op drijft. Ja. Als je aan de knoppen zit.
De massapsychologie.
Ja.
His life drastically changed after a near-death experience. Now he intends to use his talent to create a new world based on the principles of love, joy and unity.
We the people are the real change, no one else.
Hey everyone, welcome to a new season of Messengers. A few months ago, the news came out in the English government, from the English government, that a digital ID was now definitely going to go ahead, and that Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister in England, said that by the end of his cabinet he wants everyone to be on a digital ID.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
Suddenly there was a major panic among the people in England, even though many people, especially like the guest I'll be introducing to you in a moment, have been warning us about for many years, and yet so many people haven't really taken any action to really stop this. Suddenly in England people started demonstrating, and there was a big demonstration in London against it. And I remember when I heard the news, I was thinking of my dear old friend Ronald Bernard, and I thought I'd love to contact him to talk about this, because I know that he's been working for many years diligently on a system, a whole new paradigm system that can totally change this paradigm and move us away from this sick plan to control all of humanity. And as I thought that, a couple of days later, his assistant contacted me. I haven't spoken to Ronald for many years, even though we're always kind of energetically connected. And she contacted me, and I was like, that's incredible. I was thinking about him. So, hi, Ronald. Here you are. I asked you, can I please talk to you about this?
Ja.
And I know that you don't really go out in the world as much anymore. You're working behind the scenes like a recluse very diligently on what's the most amazing thing. Yeah. So I'm really grateful that you came here today, and I hope that we can elucidate on this subject to the viewers, because what you're doing is a calling, and it's divinely gifted. So before we go into all of that, I would like the viewer to know who you are.
Oh, yeah.
And why you came to this path, because you've had two lives. You've had the life before a big awakening, and the life after a big awakening, and the life before you were, as you called it yourself, a bankster.
That's correct.
What's a bankster, and what was your life like?
Well, first of all, thank you for your invitation. It's a very warm welcome, your introduction as well. And the warm welcome is in a very cold environment.
It's freezing.
Because we are sitting outside with 4 degrees plus.
Yeah, the fire is keeping us fairly warm.
With an ice, so it's okay. But thanks for your advice to wear warm clothes.
Well, when we found out this morning, I thought, oh no, I need to contact Ronald and say, please bring warm clothes. Yeah.
But okay, about my first life after being born, so to speak. If people don't know anything about me, well, my youth was not so pleasant. I was growing up by father and mother who came out of the Second World War, and wars are very devastating. They give a lot of trauma for generations, and so they did their best to love each other, to love the child, but it was not working well. They were quite locked up, and that whole situation came to a very serious issue that I was many times the target of my father to molest me, to hurt me in many ways, because he knew that my mother loved me very much. It was the first being on this planet she really loved, and he knew that. So he couldn't hurt her, so he hit me. So that was quite heavy. I was in school, I was making copies of that behavior, so I was becoming also violent. So the youth was a mesh, school in and out, so not really educated at all. Then, because of the violence on school, they advised me to put me in a home, a Catholic home, where damaged children are recovering.
How old were you then?
Sorry?
How old were you then?
9.
9.
9 years. And because of taking care of the children, they abused them. So I was, so to speak, the first 11, 12 years I was on the path of retreating myself as a being in the deepest of myself in an atomic bunker to survive. And when I came out of all this, my mother was divorced. Much later, I understood that my mother was agreeing of sending me away to the Catholic home because my father was threatening her if she divorced him, he would kill me. So her reasons were really positive in a way, like taking care of your son, not knowing how it was in the Catholic environment.
Absolutely
that
devastating.
time. So when I came out of all this, I was already an adult. I didn't care about anyone. It was me, myself, and I, and fuck the world.
Yeah.
So I start to go to school first time in a proper way. So I have to catch up the first six, 7 years of education in later on. And because of having a sort of intellect, I was catching up, but not in the basics, of course. Like I have to learn later on how to write proper Dutch and how to speak English. Nobody was teaching me, so it was all self-education and a bit later on school. So I didn't believe in diplomas or educations. I had just one goal, to be the wealthiest man in the world. How naive, if you're young. And the most powerful, to destroy everything on this planet. That was coming out of
Sounds
this.
Like Elon Musk, yeah.
All this hate, all this anger. So my developments came in businessman. So it started as a child with flea markets. Then later on I started to be a car dealer, also repair, buying, selling. So I opened a garage and became successful. Then I get bored, so on top of that I start to do import-export, like yellow corn in containers worldwide, trading that kind of things. Then someone offered me a production line and a fashion line of lady clothes. It was all oriented from Istanbul, so not from Paris. So then we start to distribute in the Benelux to shops all these fashion lines. It was more than 4 times a year. Now, out of all this, import, export, trading, and so on, I start also do exchange of currencies because I received foreign currencies. So I came on the market to the agents buying and selling currencies. Out of that, later I start to find out through the relations that in the borders from Germany, the Netherlands, and from Belgium, the Netherlands, there was a lot of exchange of currencies. Like Germans came to Holland with Deutsche Mark, German marks, and vice versa. And then I got contacts in that to buy the currency of the exchange location. It could be a bank.
Yeah.
And by buying and selling, making swaps in currencies,
Yes.
I start coming more and more in the financial markets. And then one old-timer, an expert in trading of currencies, deposits, and doing assets management, asked me, what are you doing in your life? What is your goal? So he noticed that I make money and I do all the exchange. So he wondered, what's going on with you? And I told him my mission. And then he said, well, I'm in a sort of halfway my pension, and I could sell my whole shop, my trading shop, to you. And if you give me 10% of your profit, I will teach you everything.
Wow.
And introduce you to everything. So then I became doing assets management, currency, and deposit trading. And currency that is known, English pounds to a euro and so on. Management of assets means moving big money in a way that it become invisible. Mm-hmm. And deposit trading was making profit on interest rates. So that was the official titles, positions I got through his agency because I was in the back. I was so-called with given the authority to trade, but it was all on his license. So doing that in the financial market, becoming step by step more known in circles of finance with banks and other institutions, I got introduced in more step by step, more in higher circles of doing, hey, are you interested in doing this and that? And so I was tested through the years. I got tested about what can I handle? How do I behave? Is he silent? Is he a talker? All that kind of things. Well, to make a long story short, in the end of my career in this, I was serving the highest powers on this planet. And it's not the known persons and people in the internet, that's blah blah. The people known in the internet as high power and they do this and that, they are the master puppets.
That's right.
They are the working class.
Yeah.
But behind it, there's the real deal. And one of them became my, how you call it, not a master, but...
like a mentor?
A mentor. Yeah, he became my mentor. So I got really in personal contact of the highest circle through him. Not that I was in the circle, no. I start to know more about them. And most of them, they had the sort of the same youth like I had.
The same what?
Youth.
Youth.
Yeah.
Wat wil je
When
zeggen?
you are young.
Yeah, at the same age.
When they were going through the same sort of path when they were born and raised up.
Like that.
They were also completely broken.
Well, you hear that. You always hear that. You always hear about the break them young, and then you've got them for life.
In a weird, it was very weird, but in a way they become sort of friends.
Yeah.
Because we have the same broken leg experience.
Yeah, like attracts like, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I start to share them my goal, my mission. And being wealthy and very powerful was acceptable for them. Like, yeah, maybe later on, if you have the age and your career is going well, maybe one day you can become really in the circle. But I told them also that my end goal was the destruction of all life. And they correct me in that, because through the relation I got with them, like sort of friendship, they could convince me that it was not needed to destroy every human on this planet and all life, because it's a good place to be, because with us together we get along. So why do you want to destroy us? We are good for you and it's going well. So they convinced me in the end of the days that I was too extreme because of all the hate and the anger I had out of my youth. Yeah, so that was my first career.
First career.
The bankster, that means you're a top criminal because you were just running for the big powers and the big monies. You were not them. So for your ego, I'm sorry, no, your ego is disappointed.
Yeah.
If you think, oh, I'm the man. No, you were just walking for them and doing the dirty work, taking the heat in a team. And so the meaning of bankster is you are a top criminal in the financial world. And unfortunately, I have to say, most of the misery on earth is created. So I was part of that.
Shall we talk a little bit more in the next episode about that part and what made you turn around away from that?
You're welcome.
We'll continue in a moment. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm quite good at sensing, but I find it so hard to relate to evil. This is the thing. So
But
I can
that's
sense
the beauty for evil.
Yeah.
As long as everybody denies.
Yeah.
Like, no, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Well, they have the playground for themselves because they don't
Definitely.
exist. So la-di-la, we
Yeah,
can do it
yeah.
anonymous. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
It's
definitely.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect decor.